Hello and welcome to day 1 of the Magical Readathon O.W.L.s edition. I'm going to be doing weekly vlogs for the entirety of the readathon, which spans from the 1st of April to the 30th of April. So this is the first of those. I'm very excited to get started on the readathon, but I have to work until 1 p.m. I'm working from home because of the entire global crisis thing going on. So that does mean that as soon as I stop working, I can walk to the living room, sit down, and start reading my book. If you want to know more about the readathon, by the way, I'll leave some links up above and down below so you can find out all about it if you still want to join in, maybe, or just want to know what the heck is going on. And if you want to know what I'll be reading during the readathon, I'll leave my TBR up above. I posted that one last week, this weekend. What is time? I don't know. But you can watch that too. I'll show you the first book I plan on reading. I'm going to be reading Heartburn by Nora Ephron first. I'm reading this for the Ancient Runes owl. The prompt for that is to read a book with the word heart in the title or a heart on the cover. This is called Heartburn, so it fits. But yeah, I'll be starting that later today. First, I'm going to go back to working, but I was so excited about the readathon that I just wanted to film my first clip, tell you what's going on, and now I'm going to go back to sit behind my computer and long for my book while also working. Okay, so I didn't start reading immediately after work. I've had lunch, I've had a shower, and it's now, I think, 2 o'clock, maybe something past 2. And I'm about to start reading Heartburn by Nora Ephron. This one's been on my TBR for a long time now, so I'm excited to finally pick it up. It's about a woman who's 7 months pregnant when she finds out that her husband is in love with another woman, and that's basically all I know about it. It's also quite short. I think it's about 170 pages, so it seems like a good book to start the readathon off with. I hope to finish this maybe even before the weekend, but definitely during the weekend. And I just wanted to show you my bullet journal for the owls. I made a spread for the owls. Let's see. On this side you can see the prompts I want to fulfill, the owls I'm going for the Trader of Magical Tomes career. And I'm also going for the Magical Shop Management course. The seminars and courses are a new thing this year in the Magical Readathon, and I figured this would be the perfect combination, because then I can start my own bookshop in the magical world. A magical bookshop sounds pretty perfect to me. And then on this side I have my revision schedule for all of the subjects I'm taking. So here I have the books I'm planning on reading, and then here I can fill in how many pages I've read. One box is 10 pages, so I can track my progress, and I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm really excited to start filling in all these boxes. Also, quick warning, you're probably going to see me in some variation of sweatpants and hoodie in most of these vlogs, because we're self-isolating, and let's face it, nobody wants to wear fancy clothes when they're self-isolating. I usually put on sweatpants and hoodies when I get home from work anyway, so that's just how it's gonna be. So if you're wondering why is she always wearing sweatpants, because they're comfy. So it's now about 9:30, 9:45, and I've watched a bit of G's live stream, the first Instagram live stream for the owls, and it was a lot of fun just seeing people excited about the reading, about the readathon, and about Harry Potter. G put on some Harry Potter music in the background, and everyone was very happy with it. It just felt good to be part of the community and be excited with everyone together. I'm probably not going to do much reading anymore tonight. I've read about 70 pages of Heartburn. I have some thoughts on it already, but I've decided to save them until tomorrow, when the lighting is better and I'm more awake, because I'm pretty tired. But I have decided that I'm going to watch a movie. Because I'm reading one of Nora Ephron's books, I figured it would be fun to watch one of her films. When I was looking through her Wikipedia page, I remembered and found out again that she also made Julie and Julia, which I happen to have on DVD, because I really love this film. It always makes me happy when I watch it, and it always makes me very motivated to start blogging again, or write a lot of blog posts, and to start cooking a lot. So I figured it would be the perfect film to watch now, because I want to make a lot of videos and a lot of blogs, and this will just motivate me more, and I could use some happiness in this weird time. It's now 4:45 or so on Thursday. I am a little bit tired today. I worked until 2:30, and then I did some groceries on my break. Before that, I bought some beautiful flowers like you just saw. And after work, I did some more reading. I'm still reading Heartburn by Nora Ephron. I'm now on page 100 exactly of 180 pages. And I said yesterday that I'd tell you some more about my thoughts. I have quite a few of them. I'm a little bit disappointed by Heartburn, I have to say. I was expecting a really great read. Somehow all of that's based on the cover, which is really stupid, but I really love this cover and I figured a really good book would go along with it. But it's not like I'm not enjoying this, but right now this is on a 3-star level for me, and I'd hoped it would be at least on a 4-star level. This is the story of Rachel, who finds out her husband is in love with another woman when she's 7 months pregnant. So it's not exactly an ideal situation, and it's basically her telling the story of what went down before that in their marriage, during the entire separation thing, and it's interesting. I'm not sure if interesting is the right word. It's funny. Nora Ephron is very good at making a comedy out of a tragedy. That's not my quote. I read that somewhere in the blurbs and I thought it was very apt. It's funny. She writes very funny scenes. It's very clear she's a film writer, a screenwriter. I keep picturing this as a film in my head, and apparently There has also been a film made of this, but I haven't watched it. But it's very film-like, and it's a kind of combination between a film and a stand-up comedy routine. At some point I pictured Jerry Seinfeld saying some stuff, which was a weird combination, but alright. And it's interesting, but it just lacks a little depth. It stays very on the surface of the issue. It's very funny, but I don't feel like real feelings are ever really explored. It's just meant to be entertaining, I guess. Also, it's very clear that this was written quite some time ago. This was written in 1983, and things have changed a lot since then. There's quite a lot of casual racism in this, some Orientalism that doesn't really sit entirely comfortable with me. Rachel's husband has a psychologist, and she's from Guatemala, and Rachel doesn't like her, and because of that, she calls her refried taco at some point, Queen of the Castanets. At some other point, Guatemalan frittata, I think I've read, and it's all meant to be funny, but that's not really funny to me anymore, at least. So there are those kinds of things that don't take me fully out of the story, but don't sit very well with me either. It is clear to me that although I find this an entertaining read, I enjoy Nora Ephron's films a lot more. I watched Julie and Julia yesterday, like I showed you, and I'd actually forgotten that Julie and Julia is actually one of my favorite films. I really love it. There's something about it that just makes me feel so happy and motivated and makes me want to be creative and enjoy life. And it's a combination of things. It's Meryl Streep and Amy Adams and Stanley Tucci. It's the story, it's all the food and the passion for food that I really, really love. And that's also in Heartburn, by the way. This is about a woman who writes cookbooks and who's very passionate about food. So that was a fun combination to read this book and watch that other film along with it. But I think Nora Ephron was a very, very talented screenwriter and director, but I'm not entirely convinced about this novel yet. It's Friday the 3rd of April and I have just finished my first book for the O.W.L.s Readathon. I finished Heartburn by Nora Ephron, of course, because that was the only book I was reading. I'm still not sure what to rate this. It's definitely no more than 3 stars. It might be 2.5 stars, but I'm just gonna let it simmer for a little bit longer before I give my final rating. Even though I did enjoy this and thought it was written very well and it had some funny parts and it was definitely entertaining, I did have quite a few things I didn't really enjoy that much. Those things I told you yesterday, but also there were some other things that I noticed later on. For example, apart from the casual racism, there's also some remarks about lesbianism that weren't entirely kosher. The word dyke is used in conversation 10 times in one page, which I just didn't really enjoy. And also there's this exploration of this marriage that's falling apart. And in that exploration, it's constantly the man versus the woman, and men are prone to do this and that, and women are prone to feel this and that. And I didn't really like that dichotomy between men and women, because I don't really believe in that. I don't think men are biologically more inclined to cheat than women, for example. So yeah, there's that. Also, the husband, Mark, was completely repulsive to me. He not once shows any repentance for what he's done. He doesn't think that his falling in love with another woman and his cheating on his heavily pregnant wife is a wrong thing. He doesn't even pretend to be sorry, and that was just annoying. But yeah, I think while I'm talking to you that I've decided to go for a 2.5 star rating, because I've said more things I didn't like about this book than things I did like. So it's just a pity, because I really hoped that I would really love this book, but it turns out that it's a bit of a disappointment. I think that now I'm going to do some Sims. I'm going to play The Sims 2, because I've been wanting to do that all day, but I wanted to finish the first book first. And I might start my second book later on today. I think I'm now going to read, let me get it, These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling. I had to check her last name. This is for the History of Magic exam, which is to read a book that features witches or wizards. And it's set in contemporary Salem, Massachusetts. And people think witches don't exist, but our main character, Hannah, is a witch. She's an elemental witch. A big part of her life is making sure people don't find out that she is a witch. And then she sees signs of dark magic everywhere in her town, and she has bigger problems on her hands, and that's all I know about it. But I'm excited to read it. I think it will be a bit more of a light read, at least judging by the cover and the synopsis. I think it will be a fun read, and I'm really in the mood for that. It's now 7 p.m. on Saturday, and I haven't done much reading today. I read a little bit in the morning. I think I read about 40 pages of These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling. And then I spent the rest of my day doing other stuff. I woke up with a raging headache, but luckily that subsided. And I was actually able to be pretty productive. I updated my bullet journal. I filmed a video, a book haul, so that will be up at some point, who knows. And what else did I do? Oh, I took all of the photos for the Instagram challenge of the O.W.L.s Magical Readathon that's happening next week. The Instagram challenge is, I think, runs from the 6th of April until the 12th, but I took all of the pictures for that. I'm pretty happy with how they turned out, so that's fun. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'll leave the link down below. But to get back to the book, I started reading it yesterday evening, and I read about 30 pages then and 40 pages this morning. So I'm at about 70 pages, and I am definitely enjoying it so far. It's exactly the fun read I was in the mood for. I love the setting of Salem, Massachusetts, and the main character being a witch. There's already some stuff being set up. It looks like there's a blood witch in town, which isn't a good thing because blood witches seem to be rather cruel and very powerful from what I have gathered so far. And also, the main character is struggling with her breakup with her ex-girlfriend, and it's just exactly the kind of fun YA book I was looking for. It's not your typical YA because there are witches involved, but there's still the fun writing style and the fun characters. It's just a lot of fun, which is obvious because I've used that word about 8 times now. But I'm definitely enjoying this. It's not amazing, it's not blowing me away, at least not yet, but who knows what might still happen. It's now Sunday, it's about 6 o'clock, and me and my boyfriend went on a bike ride today. It was real nice and sunny out today, as it will be tomorrow, but tomorrow I have to go back to work at home. So it was really nice to be outside for the first time in forever. I've been on little walks around the neighborhood, but I haven't been on my bike in 3 weeks, which is weird. So yeah, it was really nice to be out and about. I'm still reading These Witches Don't Burn. You can't see that it's this book because the dust jacket is off, but it's These Witches Don't Burn. I'm about 140 pages in now. I'm still really enjoying it. It's reminding me a lot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I think mostly because there are witches and they are teenagers. But still, I don't really have a lot more to say about that now. I think I'll update you again on that in the next vlog, because this is where I'm going to end this vlog. I'm going to edit it later today, this evening, because I want to have it up before tomorrow. Then I'm going to start vlog number 2 tomorrow, probably. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know down below what books you are reading, if you're participating in the O.W.L.s Magical Readathon, what prompts you are doing, what the career is you're going for, and give this a like and subscribe if you want to see more of me. And have a wonderful day. Bye!